Welcome to the Experience Engine podcast. I'm Graham Crichton, a photographer with nearly 20 years' experience in all different areas of the photography industry.
And I'm Hannah Crichton, a client happiness manager who specialises in making sure every client experience is a great one.
Join us for this podcast where each episode will deep dive into how to elevate your creative business, from being one that's all about product to being one that's all about clients. Hi, I'm Graham.
And I'm Hannah, and this is the Experience Engine.
So last time we talked about what this whole series is about, that the thing that sets great creative businesses apart isn't their kit or their price, it's the experience that they deliver.
Yeah, today we're going to take that a step further. If experience really is everything, how do we build it?
I'm sure that those listening have been through this before too. So a few years ago, we had a great shoot in the studio with a couple and their dogs. And then I went through the images later. Two of my absolute favourite ones from the shoot were just a touch out of focus. So I was, of course, gutted.
I remember that, yeah, you were ready to bin them. You called me in to see them.
Yeah, but you persuaded me to show them anyway. And it was at the viewing that those were the ones that they loved the most. They didn't see the imperfections that I saw. They just saw the emotion in the images.
Yeah, and that was a real turning point for us. Only photographers really care about the technicalities. Clients only really care about how it makes them feel.
Exactly. So today's about how to design that feeling on purpose, how to create a consistent experience.
Okay, so where do you start? I think you start with literally mapping the whole client journey. I know this is something people say they do, but in reality, we don't. And if you've done it before, it's probably worth having another look at it. Be brutally honest with yourself. Are you really giving the clients the best experience for them? Or have you been sidetracked into what you think is the best experience?
Grab a sheet of paper, draw a line across it, and mark every point of contact a client has with you. From the first time that they find you online, right through to the day that they hang their artwork on their wall, every single time.
Most people think of the process as booking, shoot, viewing, but there's really easily 20 more steps in there. Everything is a touch point and everyone is important.
And the inquiry form, the reply, the reminder call, even the drive to the studio, the welcome, the reveal, the follow-up message, every one of those is a chance to either reassure someone or to confuse them. You need to put your consumer hat on and put yourself in their shoes.
Once you've got it mapped, look at each stage and ask yourself this one question. What does the client feel right now? We are far too fond in the creative industries of forgetting the only experts are us. Maybe sit back, forget the jargon, and think about the whole process. Imagine if you were having your bathroom fitted and the plumber explained every step to you in his language, in the terms that they use in the industry. You'd have no clue what he was talking about and you'd feel like an idiot. Why do we do this to our clients too? So forget the fine art, forget portraiture, forget consultation, lay flat books, acrylic panels, same-day viewings. Forget all those terms. Empower the client by keeping it simple, using clear terms and a clear client journey.
When they inquire, you might be the first person they've called, or you could be the 20th. But those other 19 might have confused the heck out of the client. You might be the one that really answers the question and shows you know what you're talking about and understanding what they need.
When you understand the emotion at each point, you can build around it. After all, people are people, and we're going to help you create a process that treats people, like you'd want to be treated. And that's how you start designing experience deliberately.
We did this exercise years ago, if you remember, Hannah, on a whiteboard. We realised that clients were waiting too long between booking and their session. So we were very proactive and we added a short looking forward email from Hannah halfway through the gap. There was no sales pitch, just warmth. Bookings stopped falling through. You don't have to do just what we do. You need to find your own stride. So, for example, you might hate phoning people, just like me.
Is that why I have to phone everyone?
Maybe I hate phoning people. But you may find that your stride is perhaps sending emails. You've got to do what works for you. But you always need to be thinking as well, how can I help the client? How can I make it easier for them? Remember, you're not selling, you're helping.
Okay, so you've got your client journey mapped out. The next job is to remove any friction, those little bumps that make the client hesitate or feel uncertain.
Yeah, because luxury feels effortless because of the hard work being invisible. Clients shouldn't have to think, where do I park? Do I need to bring anything? Our job is to have answered all of those questions well before they even show up, before they even need to ask.
So start small. Look at your first email. Is it clear what happens next? Does your prep guide actually answer what people are actually asking you on the phone? We popped our first email in the show notes so you can see how we start the client journey once people have booked in.
That's a really good idea, Hannah, about the email in the show notes. We once realised that our address confused people's sat navs, and half of our first time clients were getting lost and turning up flustered to their sessions. So we added a map to the website. We once realised that our address confused people's sat navs, and half of our first time clients were getting lost and turning up to their sessions flustered. So we added a map to the website. We also asked our clients on the phone in their pre-shoot call if they know where they're going. It only takes just a few seconds to explain to people what they need to know and what they may forget to ask. It shows that we care. The problem is solved.
Remember, just because you know how to get to your place, have a think about it how the client will get there. Lots of people will have studios at home, or maybe in a shared building or on a busy high street. Is it difficult to park where you are? You need to answer those questions for your client. That's experience design in real life, seeing the little moments where people could trip up and quietly fixing them.
And it's not just about logistics. So friction can be emotional too. Maybe your viewing feels tense because clients don't know what to expect. So add a simple line and a reminder. You'll get to see all your images on the big screen. It's relaxed, no hard sell. That's one sentence that changes the whole tone. You don't want anyone leaving thinking, well, when do I see the pictures? Remember, if you do same day viewings, to explain in advance that your client will be expected to choose their images on the day. You don't want it to be awkward for anyone when you ask for money.
When you remove friction, you remove doubt. And remember, doubt is the enemy of luxury.
So Hannah, we're going to talk about anchoring emotion, and this is my favourite bit.
It's the part that turns an ordinary session into a story. Every stage of your process should feel connected to a feeling that you want the clients to walk away with.
For us, the inquiry should feel confident, the shoot should be fun, and the viewing should be exciting. And of course, when they collect their order, there should be a sense of awesomeness.
When you design for emotion, you start thinking differently. Instead of what do I need to do here, you ask yourself, what do I want them to feel?
That's it. And that changes everything. How you greet them, how you talk, even how you hand over the finished frame.
One of my favourite examples is our big reveal. We dim the lights, there's popcorn, and there's always a little pause before we start the slideshow.
That pause builds anticipation. We make it like going to the cinema because we want clients to be completely focused as if the outside world doesn't matter. So when the lights go down, the client leans forward and you have them hooked.
You can feel the shift in the room. It's a completely uninterrupted experience. Their phone is off, your phone is off, and you've already served the drinks and snacks. You don't want anything ruining that moment.
That moment costs nothing, but it creates value, and it makes the whole experience feel deliberate and elevated and worth every penny. Luxury is not about adding more, it's about controlling emotion, and it feels effortless. So what do you need to do? Well, you need to map the journey, you need to remove friction, and you need to anchor emotion.
If you start doing those three things, you'll stop reacting and start designing. And that's when you move from just being a creative to a brand that people talk about.
Experience is everything. It's what creates trust, and trust creates sales.
Pick just one stage in your client journey this week and make it smoother, clearer, and more emotional. Then just watch what happens.
Next time, we're digging into the first 5 minutes, the part of the experience that happens before the camera even leaves the bag.
Follow us on Instagram @TheExperienceEngine or visit grahamcrichton.com/engine for updates on our 7-star client experience workshop coming to Birmingham this September. And while you're there, take a look at our exclusive behind-the-scenes studio tour.
Wow, Hannah, that was quite a mouthful. Well, I am Graham.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is The Experience Engine.